Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So like I said in my previous video, there was a very strong chance I'll be back with a second upload, and here we are. This one is focused purely on Chelsea transfers news, recalls, midfield targets, and the bigger picture around how Chelsea are operating in the market right now. There's one massive piece of news that I'll leave for the final section of this video, but first, let's start from the reports that dropped yesterday because a lot has happened very quickly. So the first major update, Chelsea have activated the break clause to recall Aarón Anselmino from Borussia Dortmund. The 20-year-old centre-back joined Dortmund in August on a season-long loan, and the deal always included a release clause, and Chelsea have now chosen to exercise it. According to Fabrizio Romano, this wasn't a panic move. Chelsea had already started monitoring Anselmino's performances as early as November, when he began to look increasingly comfortable in Germany. And what's really interesting about this is that in this context, Romano confirmed that Dortmund made it clear in December to people close to the player that they were preparing a permanent transfer bid and they were already budgeting for it. Chelsea decided to respond immediately and firmly and by shutting down any form of approach from Dortmund, making it clear that Anselmino is part of Chelsea's long-term plan, and that's why Chelsea didn't bother actually to. Chelsea didn't wait until the summer. They didn't want the situation to get any further out of hand, and especially with the player settling, performing, and Dortmund positioning themselves to negotiate. This also explains why Anselmino was reportedly emotional when he was saying his goodbyes to his now former teammates. He was happy at Dortmund, but Chelsea stepped in before Dortmund could dictate the term, and that one, okay, even though it infuriates Dortmund, I'm not bothered about it. And I like the fact that Chelsea decided to exercise the recall clause. And let's be real about Dortmund. Chelsea have had a long-standing relationship with them, yes, but Dortmund have never gone easy on Chelsea during negotiations. With the transfers of Gittins, they made sure that they squeezed Chelsea of every penny they could literally get out of Chelsea. We talk about the case of Kane Chukwuemeka, same story, and even historically, looking at the Michi Batshuayi situation, Dortmund are excellent sellers and they are very, very ruthless. They are ruthless when negotiating. So when Chelsea finally decided to exercise a clause that was already written into the contract, I'm not going to lose sleep over Dortmund being upset, to be honest. Okay, do I hope that the relationship isn't completely strained? Of course, I hope not. But Chelsea cannot afford to be passive anymore, especially when clubs are circling players we see as part of the future. And this recall sends a clear message to that effect. Now, this recall also tells us something very important about Jeremy Jacquet, because according to Fabrizio Romano, Chelsea are still discussing new signings internally. And JJ, I'm going to call him JJ, remains on the table. There's competition from Liverpool, Bayern Munich, and Chelsea are all interested. But Chelsea also sent a representative to Reims last week. And let's be honest here, if Reims are not willing to reduce the valuations, Chelsea recalling of Anselmino feels like a statement making it clear to them that they are not desperate. Okay, we have Anselmino, we also have Mamadou Sarr at Strasbourg. We can record or integrate our own assets if the club prices us out of it. And this is leverage for me. And we also have to factor the UEFA financial settlement agreement into whatever move Chelsea wants to make going forward, because we cannot afford to spend freely owing to the restrictions across a 3-year period. And that means sales are inevitable, which brings us to this uncomfortable part where, because of the restrictions, Chelsea will have to raise funds, and that puts players like Trevor Chalobah, Axel Disasi, Badeshile, and even Uncle Tosin up for sale. They're not eviction. I mean up for sale, because it's not always about quality. It's about wages, amortization, squad balance and UEFA compliances. And this is why Chelsea recalling young, low cost, and high upside defenders matter so much. It also gives the club some sort of flexibility. Now, let's talk about the midfield, yeah? This is where the frustrations really sets in because first, reports from Mr. Kinsella stated that Douglas Luiz prefers Aston Villa over Chelsea, and then boom, Fabrizio Romano drops his usual "here we go" statement or phrase that Luiz has agreed to move to Aston Villa, loan from Juventus, and the agreement has already been done. And now, let me be very clear: I'm not devastated that we didn't sign Douglas Luiz because when you look at the player's history, he's got history with injury and is not so consistent. Although we'll be missing out on the experience that he's going to be bringing into the team. Anything aside that, I'm not too fussed about the losing Douglas Luiz to Aston Villa. Why? Because we have Andre Santos who's playing well. We also have players like Lavia and Dario Sugo who will be back at the club pretty soon. Lavia has been, according to Simon Johnson, has returned to the training ground, and is also already starting to train with the rest of the team. So, which is a positive for Chelsea, and that's why I'm saying I'm not gonna lose sleep over losing Douglas to Aston Villa. Now, let me be very clear. I already said I'm not going to be devastated. Now, what annoys me is how Chelsea communicates and operate. 1 minute, Chelsea are interested, Chelsea are monitoring, Chelsea are in talks, and the next minute, it's over. And fans are left asking, why put this out in the first place? Look, yeah, Chelsea used to be a club that moved in silence. If we wanted a player, we got him. Or we didn't even we will not let the story out. We will not let the story breathe. And now it just feels like constant briefing, constant hype, and zero delivery. And that's where the frustration with Clearlake and Bluco comes in, because these guys, like I said, I'm Clearlake out, I'm Bluco out, I'm Benedict Bali out, I'm Paul Winstanley and Lawrence Stewart out until they decide to fix up. It's not because every deal fails, but because of how how chaotic it just looks. Okay, this is why, despite everything, the only positive I'm taking here is the fact that we are not going to be seen as passive anymore, with the authority and that Chelsea have exercised over the Aarón Anselmino. Okay, it just shows that Chelsea are protecting assets, Chelsea are thinking long term, Chelsea are refusing to be boxed into a bad deal. Is it perfect? No. But is it messy? Yes. But at least for once, Chelsea actually act decisively. I just feel like there's still more that Chelsea needs to do. We do not need a whole lot of players. Get the players that are not needed in the squad, get them out. Tyrick George obviously looks surplus to requirement, as well as other players. Get them out, get in more revenue, and go for players that will bring quality, not just quantity. Bring quality and improve the team. Okay, Anselmino recall is deliberate and not reactive, and it just weakens Dortmund's leverage. Now, and it's also going to strengthen Chelsea's internal options, because we have players like Anselmino, like I just mentioned, Mamadou Sarr, and the rest. And it just sends a message to Reims that regarding Jeremy Jacquet, that we're not going to be milked, or we're not going to have our pants pulled down, okay, by you guys. And I hope that Chelsea end up getting Jacquet, because according to Simon Johnson, or CC Johnson rather, Chelsea are now relaxing on their on their decision on getting Jacquet for January, but rather they're leaving it to trying to make a deal with Reims to get him in the summer, and that can actually get Reims to soften their stance in terms of valuation and all that. In the end, I just hope that Chelsea get him. In the end, I hope that things are done right to protect players like Anselmino, Achiempong, and Mamadou Sarr. That's my hope. I'm more worried about Mamadou Sarr because the man looks like a very, very fine player. There's one more massive piece of news brewing, but I'll save that for the next video because that one deserves its own breakdown. And if you enjoy this video, make sure you like it, subscribe, and let me know what your thoughts are. Are you happy with Anselmino's recall? Are Chelsea finally learning, or we're still winging it? Let me know what you guys think about everything I've said in the comment section below. I really want to hear from you guys, and don't forget to, like I said, to share this video. If there's any other thing, I'll be here to give you guys news or report on that in the next upload. Until then, it's Chelsea first, rivals next. I'm out. Peace.